2 of the 2019 NFL season. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Hall back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. I do talk a lot of football on this channel with the NFL season in full swing. So go ahead and subscribe and turn on my post notifications by clicking the bell icon down below. And while you're at it, follow me on my social media links down below on the screen and in the description as well. So, giving you guys my picks for week 2 of the NFL season, going through every single game and picking the winner and also picking against the spread. But before I do so, I will also recap my results from week 1, and I'm going to be keeping track of it all throughout the season, folks, so you don't want to miss out. So with that being said, I don't want to wait any longer. Let's get started. So let's quickly recap week 1 and how I did. And I went 11-4-1. Yes, we already had a tie. And let me explain the games real quick for you guys. So let me get out my marker so I can indicate on here about the games. So 11-4-1. And these are the 4 games, or actually, 5 games that either were incorrect or it was a tie. Cleveland versus Tennessee, I'm just going to chalk it up, folks. The Titans really impressed me. And the Browns wet the bed. They did. Baker Mayfield, 3 interceptions, looked absolutely awful. They got dominated on both sides of the football. The Titans just absolutely demolished the Cleveland Browns, okay? Not going to panic. Still only week 1. But, of course, I got that one wrong. I will accept that. Buffalo versus the New York Jets. The Jets choked this game. They were leading all throughout. And they just let the Bills come back and win this game and steal it from them. I believe it was a 1-point game, 17-16. A shame on the New York Jets for losing that game. They had it in the bag, and they fumbled it. So, again, I don't feel too bad about that because the Jets should have won that game. But that's what happened. Packers versus Bears. Of course, we all know how awful the Bears played in the opening game of the NFL season. The play calling for Matt Nagy, the play of Mitchell Trubisky, I called it all out. Just an abysmal game. Not like the Packers played any better. It was a 10-3 game, but you get my point. KC versus Jacksonville. Now, let me just say real quick, this was my big upset of the week, and I got kind of bold, okay, because I do another pool basically where I actually indicate my picks, on the side, and I actually had picked before I made my picks KC to win. And then, when I made my video, I just got kind of bold and I said, you know what, I'm going to take a stab at it. And I felt pretty good about it until Nick Foles, of course, gets hurt. And then that is all she wrote. The Jaguars lose that game. But I thought they were in it. But, of course, Gardner Minshew ended up coming in. He did play pretty well, but they lost that game. But to me, again, initially I had the Chiefs winning this game. Again, they were the favorites. But I wanted to be bold, so I'll take that. And then the Lions versus the Cardinals, it was a tie. What else is there to say? So 11-4-1, but pretty happy with my results outside of course, me kind of just in the moment picking the Jaguars to win that matchup. The rest of the games, I still feel pretty confident in picking them, and those teams just didn't come through. But can't be mad at the process, right? So let's now move on to week 2 and give you my picks. So let us start with the Thursday night game that will kick off week 2 for the NFL season. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. The spread is -6.5 in favor of the Panthers, and I believe that is entirely too much, folks. Look, the Panthers played pretty well against the Rams. I'll give you that. But Cam Newton did not look good at all. That was all CMC, as in Christian McCaffrey. And I have no doubt Christian McCaffrey is going to have another monster game against this porous Bucs defense. But if you're telling me I'm getting that same Cam Newton, I'm not feeling too good if I'm the Panthers. Now, in terms of who's going to win this game, I will still take the Panthers because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Jameis Winston at quarterback are a train wreck and their defense is awful, and the Panthers are at home. So I'll pick the Panthers there, but I'll tell you this much. The only consistent thing about Jameis Winston is that he's inconsistent, and we saw last week multiple pick sixes, just flat out wet the bed against the 49ers. But I will say that I do think Jameis Winston can bounce back and keep this game close. I'll take the Panthers, but give me Tampa Bay with the points. to cover the 6.5. Let's move on to the Sunday games now. Arizona Cardinals at the Baltimore Ravens. It's a very large spread here, 13.5 in favor of the Ravens. But can you believe this is not the biggest spread of this slate? I'll get to that in a second. But the Ravens, of course, they lit the world on fire. Lamar Jackson, we know what he did. 5 touchdowns against Miami Dolphins, a near perfect passer rating. I don't have to get into all that, okay? But let's talk about the Cardinals. They were not looking good for 3 quarters, and then they turned it around. Kyler Murray, to his credit, made some big plays, and they were able to tie the game. Look, it's better than a loss, right? You tied the game. I'll take it if I'm the Cardinals. But this is a tough task for anybody. You're talking about in Baltimore against a very tough defense, and then Lamar Jackson, who's playing with a lot of confidence, and that coaching staff is going to put him in the right spot. Both very young quarterbacks, but give me the Ravens at home with a better defense, with a better coaching staff, and a quarterback that's playing better right now than the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. So give me the Ravens, but 13.5 is entirely too much, folks. What happened in week 1 is not going to happen every week. Give me the Cardinals with the points in that one. Let's move on to San Fran at Cincy. So we've got the 49ers at the Bengals. The Bengals lost week 1 by just a point to the Seahawks. So give credit to them. And Andy Dalton, monster game, led the entire NFL in passing yards with over 400. So I'll give them that. Their new head coach, I believe, Zach Taylor, looks pretty good. And they're at home against the 49ers, who did not play pretty well. Jimmy Garoppolo did not look very good. But I'm going to hang in here with the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan just because I believe in them so much. And I'm going to say the 49ers pick up this win. Look, Joe Mixon might not play for the Bengals, so that would be a big loss. Their defense is still very suspect. Chris Carson ran all over them. 49ers are dealing with their injuries of their own, so it'll be a very close game as Tevin Coleman's out. But Matt Brady is very capable of being a replacement for Coleman, and I do believe he'll have a very good game. And Jimmy Garoppolo, I will take him over Andy Dalton still. I know he hasn't looked good, but I am hanging in there. Give me the 49ers on the road to upset the Bengals. Let's move on to the Chargers at the Lions. The spread is -2.5 in favor of the Chargers, who picked up an overtime win against the Indianapolis Colts. And the Chargers have been dealing with a lot of injuries, but listen, Austin Eckler looked real good, okay? And I believe they're not going to miss Melvin Gordon at all. Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen, good to go. But Hunter Henry, again, he's hurt. Man, is there another guy who's as injury prone as Hunter Henry? I mean, missing all last season, and now you're missing, this played one game, and now you're already out for a couple weeks. Hopefully he'll be back, but they got Antonio Gates on speed dial in Los Angeles. So in terms of this game, the Lions, look, here's the thing with the Lions. I wanted to pick the Lions in this game. They're at home. Their defense is fairly good. Still got Matt Stafford, at quarterback, and the offense should be decent. But they didn't impress me at all against the Cardinals. We're talking about a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach, and he couldn't pick up that win. So to me, I'll still take the Chargers just because I can't trust the Lions. I'm sorry. I don't trust the Lions. Give me the Chargers. I know they're dealing with injuries, but I'll still take Phillip Rivers and company over the Lions, even on the road. I'm picking a lot of road teams this week, folks. That's going to be a trend. So give me the Chargers to win this matchup, even on the road in this game. Let's move on to Minnesota at Green Bay. Real quick, though, a point on the Chargers winning. I do think they will still cover the 2.5. Just want to point that out. Let's move on to Minnesota at Green Bay. Packers favored by 2.5 in this game. I will take the Packers in this one, okay? Look, the NFC North right now is a bloodbath. I mean, we're talking Packers, Vikings, and Bears, all with improved defenses, okay? Vikings defense looked very good against the Falcons. Packers defense looked good against the Bears. Bears defense looked good against the Packers. So it's a very tough division right now. So give me just the home team at this point. Packers at home against the Vikings. I believe they can get the job done, but I'm not comfortable with that spread. I think it'll be a very close game, a 1-point game, 2-point game. So give me the Vikings, who are turning into a completely running team. They're not letting Kirk Cousins throw, so that limits the turnovers. So give me the Packers to win this game over the Minnesota Vikings, but it's going to be very close. I don't feel strongly about either side. Let's move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. Line is 8.5 in favor of the Texans, and that is a big spread, folks. I get it. Nick Foles is out. Gardner Minshew is now the new rookie quarterback for the Jaguars. But listen, the Texans will win this game for sure, but I'm just not comfortable with the spread. I think the Jaguars can make this a game. I think I'll take the Jaguars to cover. But listen, I mean, there's too much talent on the Houston Texans to not win this game. They're at home. They barely lost to the Saints in week 1. They got Deshaun Watson at quarterback. Obviously, they will win this game. Let's move on to the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Folks, let me just tell you, I have never seen a spread this high in all my years of watching football. I've never seen a spread minus 19 points in favor of the Patriots. Okay, 19. Remember I told you it was 13.5 for the Ravens? Yeah, this was a spread that was higher. So look, the Dolphins, we all know they were a complete mess in week 1, 59-10. Players were calling their agents to be traded from the Dolphins, and they're just going to be a mess all season long. I get that. But last time I checked, it was still an NFL football team with NFL players. And I get it. This is the New England Patriots. But I cannot wrap my mind around taking anybody to cover this spread. I mean, let alone, I get it. It's New England Patriots. But I can't do it. I can't do it, folks. Give me the Dolphins to cover the spread. Absolutely, I'm not picking the Patriots to not win this game. They will win this game for sure. But, I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, come on. You know he's won some games in this league. Can he make this closer than a multiple touchdown game? I would hope so. I think week 1, that was an anomaly. I don't think you're going to see that type of destruction and, that type of effort or lack thereof from the Dolphins every single week. So I will take the Patriots to win this game. Of course, I don't need to explain that, hopefully, but I will take the Dolphins and the points. Let's move on to the Buffalo Bills at the New York Giants, and the spread is favor of the Bills, a -2 on the road. And here's another road team I am taking to win this game. Look, the New York Giants are just trotting out the corpse of Eli Manning out there, and until they switch to Daniel Jones, I just won't be comfortable picking them in pretty much any game, okay? And the Bills, they aren't the best team, obviously the most talented, but their defense is solid. Josh Allen, he's got potential. They added some weapons in John Brown and Cole Beasley. I believe they can make things work here. Devin Singletary, the rookie running back, looks good. So give me the Buffalo Bills to pick up this win over the New York Giants, even though they got Saquon and Evan Ingram, but maybe no Sterling Shepard this week dealing with a concussion. Give me the Buffalo Bills to cover and win this game. Let's move on to the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And full disclaimer, I have no confidence in this game at all. Spread is 3.5 in favor of the Steelers, but I got no confidence. I like the Seahawks. Steelers are at home. They're coming off an embarrassing loss to the New England Patriots. So I hope they bounce back, but I don't know if they will. Do I trust them? Do I not? So I'm just going to, make a blind pick here and just go with the Steelers because they're at home. But it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be very close. I'll take, Seattle to cover. It's a 3.5 spread in favor of the Steelers. But again, very, very, very close game. Both teams, I think, are going to put up points. But I just don't feel confident in either way. So I have to be honest with you guys. Let's move on to the Colts at the Titans. Spread is -3 in favor of the Titans. And I will take the Titans to win and cover. Look, folks, they're at home. Their defense looks stout. Marcus Mariota, as long as he doesn't make mistakes, it will be a good quarterback for them. Derrick Henry is running the ball really well. They have a new rookie receiver, A.J. Brown, emerging. The Titans are a dark horse team, folks. They're looking good. They stopped the Browns in week 1. And here's my problem with the Colts. Folks, Jacoby Brissett is so limited and so far removed from what Andrew Luck was that I believe he will hold this offense back. And I just cannot pick the Colts to win against good teams. And to me, Jacoby Brissett is not very good. I'm just not a big believer in him. And to me, that's a huge downgrade, again, for the skill players. For the Colts, their defense is solid. But I just don't believe that Jacoby Brissett can do enough or will do enough to be able to help you beat a good and solid team like Tennessee, who is at home. So this is a road game for the Colts. So give me the Titans to win and cover. Let's move on to the Cowboys at the Redskins. Spread is -5 in favor of the Cowboys, and they should win this game. They should cover. Here's the thing. I'm not a big Cowboys fan, but listen, I have to be objective here. The Redskins looked decent last week against the Eagles. Case Keenum actually had a very good game, but they're not going to get that every week. Case Keenum is still inconsistent at the end of the day. Cowboys have too many weapons. Dak Prescott had a hell of a game. Zeke Elliott didn't even have a good game. They still stopped him. Michael Gallup's emerging. You got Amari Cooper still. Defense is pretty solid as well. All the ingredients are there. The only things that are not in the Cowboys' favor is they're on the road here. So to me, that's why this might not be a blowout, but the Redskins are going to be a very bad team this year. So give me the Cowboys to win this game and to cover the spread. Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs at the Oakland Raiders. So valiant effort by the Raiders, who I picked in week 1 to beat the Denver Broncos. So I'll give myself props for that. But even though they're at home, I can't do it. The Chiefs coming into town, no Tyreek Hill, but you got Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, their new rookie receiver is going to replace Tyreek Hill. And they're going to have Sammy Watkins, of course, who had a huge game, week 1 game. So it's too explosive an offense for the Raiders defense to deal with. Give me the Chiefs, but believe it or not, I think the Raiders cover. I don't want to take the Chiefs with the -8. They're favored by 8. Give me the Raiders to cover. They're at home. I think they're going to play hard. I think they're going to play for John Gruden. Let's move on to the Bears at the Broncos. And I already did a full preview for this game. You can go check it out. I believe the Bears will win this game. The spread is -2.5 in favor of the Bears, and I'm picking them to win and cover. I predicted a final score of 17-7, low-scoring field goal game. Both sides struggling on offense, and defensively, it's going to be a battle. But the Bears' defense is much better than Broncos, and hopefully the Bears' offense shows up and shows out to be better than the Broncos. So give me the Bears, even on the road, in this one to win. Saints at the Rams. Boy, I can't wait for this matchup. This is going to be a fun one. I'm going to go with the Saints. They've been licking their chops to face the Rams ever since, of course, the NFC Championship game last year in which they lost due to that bogus PI call. And this is a game you circle on your calendar if you're the Saints, and I know they've been looking forward to it even though it's on the road. Rams are favored by 3. Give me the Saints to win this game just because they've been looking forward to it, and they're stacked, folks. Alvin Kamara, Drew Brees, Michael Thomas. You want to go on and on about that. Not that the Rams aren't stacked, but I'm just saying both teams are evenly stacked. So you got to pick one, right? Give me the Saints. Even though they're on the road, they're going to be more motivated to get this W. Let's move on to the night game. Philadelphia at Atlanta. Spread is -5.5 in favor of the Eagles. And I'm actually going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win this game. They're at home, coming off an embarrassing loss to the Minnesota Vikings. But I think Matt Ryan bounces back. Look, this Eagles defense isn't as good as we thought so far. They gave up, almost 300 plus yards to Case Keenum and company. So you don't think they can put up some points if you're the Falcons in this game? I think Matt Ryan is going to have a big game. Julio Jones as well. And it's going to be a close game, a shootout, if you will. But give me the Falcons to win this game. And finally, let's finish it out with the Cleveland Browns at the New York Jets. And I was actually going to, pick a much closer game because the spread went down to -6.5 because we just found out Sam Darnold is out. He's dealing with some illness, something called mono that he is dealing with. It is some sort of an illness, disease, if you will. Might be out multiple weeks, but for this purposes of this game, he's out. Le'Veon Bell's getting an MRI on his knee. We don't know if he's going to play, so that's a huge... Two of the best players on the Jets might be out. One is for sure out. The other one might be out. Trevor Siemian starting at quarterback. No one else is needed. Browns win this game. They have too much talent not to. Even though they're on the road, they should win this game and cover. So there you have it, folks, my picks for week 2 of the NFL season. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.